Hello everyone, welcome once again to my channel. My name is Portelles, and for today's video, we have a brand new episode of Extraordinary Talks. Now, my guest today is one of the girls that has been consistently been requested for this type of interviews, and I am more than glad to finally present to you the amazing Jasmine Umali. As usual, I am beyond thrilled and excited to show to you the conversation that we had about so many topics, and most importantly, for you to see how authentic this girl is. She can be a happy spirit, very optimistic, very jolly, but at the same time, she also has been through a lot in life. And during our conversation, she was not scared to share at all. As usual, if you enjoy my video, don't forget to leave a like so that it gets recommended to more people. Subscribe to the channel for more videos like this one almost every single day. And last but not least, let me know in the comment section what you think about Jasmine, my questions, our conversation, everything that you want to talk about. So everyone, let me tell you, coming from parents with titles and tiaras, this fun-loving artist and former flight attendant is ready to board you for her Miss Universe Philippines journey. Ladies and gentlemen, here she is, Jasmine Umali. Welcome everyone to a brand new episode of Extraordinary Talks. And just like I promised, here I have our beautiful guest, Jasmine Umali. How are you doing, my dear?
Hi, Louis. Thank you so much for having me. I am so grateful to finally meet you virtually, and I'm so excited for our chat today.
Well, thank you so much for accepting my invitation. It is truly an honor to have you here. And I've been really keeping an eye on everything that you've been doing so far during this pageant. I'm just so
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate it. You know how much I appreciate you. I slide into your DMs.
yeah, we've been talking, we've been talking.
Yeah.
So the first thing I'm going to ask you, Jasmine, because I'm pretty sure that everyone wants to know this at home. How do you manage to look so fresh? Oh my God, girl, you look so beautiful.
Okay, first I have a ton of makeup on. I had a meeting before this, but just a lot of love, a lot of gratitude, meditation, and creativity. Just really expressing myself through doing what I love. Actually, that doing this pageant is actually something very natural to me because I like looking pretty all the time. So.
Sana are looking pretty. Very nice. So is this like part of your morning routine, like these things that you mentioned, or is it something that you try to incorporate throughout the day?
Okay, the funny thing is, I am a nocturnal. I'm a night owl. This is my second day of waking up early at like 9 a.m. because usually I wake up at 3 p.m. Manila time, Philippine time. Yes, for some reason, I don't know, my mind just works so well in the middle of the night. That's why I actually have a 3 a.m. thoughts Instagram page where I write my poems and I share them there. And it's hard, but I have to do it. And I'm just doing the same thing, the same way I wake up in the afternoon is just, take an hour for myself,
Yeah.
relax, drink my water, talk to my sister, or just nothing about pageants first. Not, I don't check my phone yet. And then after an hour, that's when I start working. That's when I go back to reality and okay, I have to work now.
Time to work. You know, we actually have that in common. I'm not a morning person at all. And I always need, like, if you allow me to wake up at, I don't know, like 1 p.m., I will take it. And I need like some time in the morning just for me to focus, to just kind of like center myself. And then I can, be productive. So,
Yeah, it takes me 2 hours to actually wake up.
wow. Are
I'm
we
kidding.
two? Are
I'm
we
kidding.
two? Oh, Jasmine, officially the first thing I wanted to tell you before we get into the interview, of course, is I want to congratulate you because you officially made it into the top 30. How does that make you feel?
Thank you so much. I am so happy and relieved in a way that finally it's the top 30. This is it. This is the competition, and I'm just really, really excited. I just want to be on stage already.
Yes, I can imagine, and you've worked so hard for this. So, to see all of the results of your effort and your hard work come to fruition is really something
Thank you
amazing.
so
So,
much. Thank
so happy for
you.
you. So can you tell me in your own words, how would you describe your Miss Universe Philippines journey so far?
Honestly, I don't know, but one thing's for sure, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Nothing, I didn't know this was going to be really, really hard. I knew it was going to be difficult. I knew it was going to be a challenge because it is a competition.
Mhm.
But I had no idea that you really need to have the mental fortitude and the emotional, um, the patience, the emotional, what do you call this? The strength to really go through everything because it's not just the competition itself. It includes the pandemic itself, the people in the industry, and now the media, social media. You have to know how to ground yourself, um, how to put yourself back on to the earth somehow, because sometimes you can get too much over in your head, and get your heads in the clouds for which with the overwhelming messages, love and support, and it's not always good. So it's definitely a roller coaster ride, but it's all worth it.
Absolutely. I mean, I think it's part of the journey, to have things that get you out of your comfort zone, and that make you feel like you are not in control for once. But you're doing pretty well, girl. I mean, I'm not worried about
That's the thing. I try to take charge or take control as much as I can. I'm very, very hands-on. I think I have that on my social media. And that's the thing I had to learn is that I have to let go of the things that I can't because I really can't control everything. And I just have to, embrace it, accept it, and just move forward.
So this is actually your first time in a pageant, right? So how would you say this experience have been so far? Let's say, was it what you expected it to be, or?
Well, both my parents did were title holders here in the Philippines. Well, my dad was the second runner-up in Mr. Manhunt International, and my mom was a Matiado Filipinas 1989. And 1960, she wasn't born yet. So, I grew up with them, and my ambition when I was a kid, I looked up to my mom so much. I just wanted to be pretty like her. The way she moves, the way she acts is naturally queenly, and I guess I got that from her. And I've always been asked. Since I started modeling at 15, they already asked if I wanted to join in the future, maybe when I'm 18 or 20. And every year they would call me, and it just wasn't my priority. But I knew I was gonna do it. I knew I really wanted to do it. Somehow it felt like a calling. And so this year, I felt like the stars were just aligning, the universe was conspiring, and everything fell into place. And it because of that, I think I'm very prepared. I was very, very prepared for this. So even though it's not easy, I mean, nothing is, even though it's very challenging, it's a transformation for me. It's a new chapter. I'm growing. There's so much development going on in a matter of a month. And it's just an experience. And this is the best thing that's happened to me so far.
Oh, I love that. And
Yeah.
precisely, I mean, something that you mentioned is that you come from a family of title holders. So, is this something that for some reason adds pressure to you? Like, do you feel that there's more expectation because of this, or it's just something that you use as an inspiration for the competition?
Yes, definitely an inspiration. The pressure, it's not there for some reason. But no, because I was never famous on social media. I wasn't an influencer. I was very low key. I just loved to travel with, I just enjoyed my job as a flight attendant. And I guess the advantage of being a newbie in the pageant is that nobody knows what to expect. And so whatever I do, everybody will just be surprised.
Yes.
They won't know like if that's my best. They won't know if that's not my best. So it's a surprise.
So everything is fresh, everything is new, and people are just getting to know you and discover you. And it's just like a very exciting journey for the fans, because I feel that although this is your first one, there's a lot of people talking about you and a lot of people rooting for you as well. You were actually one of the ones that kept on being requested for the interview series that I'm doing.
It really, that's why it's so overwhelming for me, especially because this, I didn't expect support. I had no expectations really. I was like, you know what, I'm going into this pageant. I know I'm going to be bashed. I know people, not everyone's gonna like me, and probably I won't have the biggest fan base, but I'm doing it for myself anyway.
Yeah.
So when I received so much love and people were actually noticing me as a newbie, I was like, wow, this is already an achievement, a huge achievement for me. Like for me, this is already a win. To be noticed in out of 100 girls from the beginning and not having any experience, not having, not even having the name. Nobody knew my name. So that really makes me happy. And I'm just so blessed and excited to whatever's next.
How would you say that your parents have supported you throughout this journey in the competition? Do they give you some advice, or do they just play more of like a parent-like figure?
My mom and dad were never married. They separated when I was 4. But I've always kept in touch with my dad. We saw each other, every year, every month. He would take me out to movies. My mom basically is a single parent,
Okay.
raising 4 daughters, and I'm the eldest. So she had to give me tough love. Yes, it was a love-hate relationship. We would clash a lot because we were the opposite, and we were opposites. Our personalities, and because I was suffering from mental challenges in a very young age, I was weak. I was a very weak girl. That's how I transformed because of what she did. It wasn't bad, but she was just tough on me. She would stop me from crying. She would tell me, no, you don't have to feel like, you don't have to feel so little. You're not like this, but you're weak. She would tell me that. And to me, that was very helpful. And because of that, now I'm tough.
Make you
I'm, I'm,
stronger.
I'm, I'm one of the toughest woman you'll ever meet. I may look calm, I may look prim and proper, classy, but I'm a tough woman.
Wow.
I'm a fighter. But right now, the thing is, my mom, ever since I started the pageant started, she has been the opposite, totally different. She was so loving, so caring. The support that she's been giving was like, who are you? She would update me with your videos, or she would update me with some comments and some articles. And she would be just so excited, like a little kid, like, oh my God, Jasmine, look.
Well, I really love that, and the fact that you're so honest about it as well, because I come myself from a family where my parents got divorced when I was fairly young, and I was raised by a single mother. So I know that sometimes it can be tough, because when you're a child, sometimes you don't realize it, but the parent might be going through a lot of pressure as well, and sometimes that translates through the kids. So I was an only child. But yeah, I feel like there's a different dynamic, like sometimes the expectations, because I was the only one, she was expecting like a little bit of help, like you need to do this, you need to do that. Maybe it was the same for you because you were like the oldest daughter, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, thank you for talking about that and for being so open. We actually have a section on the interview for when we talk about the advocacy, where we will get a little bit more in detail and talk about that.
Yeah.
I appreciate your honesty.
Of
Um,
course.
so you are actually representing for Manila, the capital of
Mhm.
Philippines. That's a lot of pressure because Manila has so many wonderful, amazing things to discover. What would you say are some of the few things that someone like me, for example, like a foreigner, should know about Manila?
You haven't been here. You haven't been to Manila.
Never.
Not even the Philippines. Not
No.
even anywhere. Oh my
Next year.
gosh.
Next year.
Yes. I'm gonna bring you here. I'm gonna tour you around. Like, the girls here, the girls you better be. We're gonna tour you around. It's gonna be a
Yes.
party. But first, okay, first, of course, I'll take you to my home where my grandma used to live. It's our ancestral home now, and the structure itself is very historical. It's in Manila. There's an area where houses were built on wood, windows, very old, very antique, and inside the interior is also very historical. And I would bring you there, of course. And uh, my lolo, my grandpa collected encyclopedias. Like,
Oh,
really, like, he has like a huge shelf of encyclopedias. So, and an old antique piano. So it's really the feel, the vibe of it is already, you'll already feel the culture of Manila itself.
yeah.
So that's where I'll bring you first. And then right in front of it is a carinderia, which is, do you have any idea what carinderia is?
No.
So it's like a small shop where the it's a house basically, and then they make a space where they cook food and sell it to people, and then there's just a bench outside. So it's all home cooked meals, warm, and it's so cheap. You can get it for $1. You already have your rice and your beef or your pork. I would take you there because home cooked meals are the best.
The best. That's
And
exactly
then,
the things I want to experience from the
yeah.
Philippines.
And in the same street, we have street food. It's
Oh.
all there. Same street, we have street food, banana Q, turon, halo halo during the summer. Oh my gosh, it's the best. I love street food. And then I would tour you around the area, which we would go to Intramuras, where we have horse kalesa. In English, I'm not so sure.
I know what a
Horse
calesa is.
carriage.
Yeah,
Okay, kalesa. There you go.
calesa, yeah.
So you go around with the kalesa. Maybe go biking if you know how to bike around the park. And of course, the structures of our post office, our city hall, one
Oh,
of the best here in Manila. It's very Instagram worthy,
okay.
so
I love
I'm
it.
sure you'll want to go there. Of course, National Museum if you're into art. It's in Manila. It's in my city. A lot of cathedrals as well. Oh my gosh, I can go on. I can go on and on and on.
Everything. But I really
Yeah.
like the fact that you actually speak with so much passion about Manila because you're actually representing them. And sometimes a lot of candidates they stick to like one aspect of the city, of the culture, like they talk about, I don't know, like the history of it or the people or but in this few like sentences that you gave me, you mentioned like so many elements that it honestly makes me excited to visit and discover.
Oh.
I know who I need to text when I get to the
Yeah.
very nice. One of the things that we were discussing earlier is that joining Miss Universe Philippines obviously has a lot of challenges and it's a lot of preparation. So, what was the element that made you feel like this year was the right moment to go for it? And was there a moment that made you feel like you were ready for it?
Mm. Oh, I thought I was ready. I thought I was so prepared, especially when I've been training since Feb. I started training since Feb because I was going to join another pageant, and it didn't push through because it was a collective decision of my team to pursue Miss Universe, which was really what I wanted. And I guess they saw the potential, and I'm really grateful. And they told me to pursue that. And with the pandemic, there were a lot of times where we were in quarantine or we were in lockdown, and it's a challenge mentally, of course, and emotionally. And no matter how much you train, it's different when it's face to face, or it's different when you actually see people, when we're surrounded, when your environment is in the same area or is in the same like industry field. So I wasn't exposed to it at all. I just kept on training. And when they finally announced that we had the interview, I was like, I had to wake up. It felt like there was a bubble that popped over my head, like, whoop, this is it. And I guess, no matter how much you train, it really is just your passion and your authenticity that will show. The training will just back you up whenever you need it. And with my life experience, that's what that prepared me really, because I have so much to say. I have so many stories to share, and yeah, that's it. I'm excited to uh, share more. There's a lot more to me, and to inspire people and know that, and to let people know that they can connect and that they're not alone.
You can prepare for months, even for years sometimes, but there's no like right moment because you don't know what they're gonna throw at you, right? What the challenges are gonna be like, if it's gonna be something that you're comfortable with, or if it's gonna completely take you out of your comfort zone. Um, but at the end of the day, it's all about just giving it a try and just putting all the best that you can deliver and go for it.
Yeah.
So really excited to see what is yet to come. And something that I really like about you, honestly, is that you're a very creative person. Well, you're an artist, actually, you know.
Yes. Are
So,
you?
well, I wouldn't, no, I wouldn't call myself an artist. No, no, no.
Well,
But
maybe you're a businessman. You're an entrepreneur. Hmm.
we'll live it. Yeah, we can call it that. But honestly, one of the things that I enjoy the most about you is that I feel like you are able to blend your art with what you're doing right now with the pageant, especially with your photo shoots. It really shows as well on the videos that have been released of you. There's always like this touch, this special something, it's not just a regular photo. There's something going on with the dress, the lighting, the colors, and it shows that there's a lot of passion in there for you. Do you have like some sort of like let's say like influence on the concepts or the decisions that are made artistically, or how do you handle that?
Okay, so I have just been really blessed have to be surrounded with people, the right people in this journey. So the team in my past shoot, the pictures that I've been releasing recently, I had no idea who they were. We were all strangers at one point, and I reached out to them because I saw their work on Instagram.
Mhm.
We were all in Manila. I reached out to them on Instagram, slid into their DM. So I was like, I really, really hope to work with you soon. And then I messaged again. I followed up before the top 100 was going to be released. And then we just ended up having, we were great. We were lucky to have one day of free time for us to all push through with the shoot. And we had no concept. It was all on the spot. Although we had a stylist, and he had an idea of what would look best on me based on my pictures.
Mhm.
So and surprisingly, everyone was an artist. I could feel everybody's energy, everybody's aura. The vibe it was like we were morphing into one person. It's like we were all just connected, the same vibration. We were all in one frequency, like, and it just all worked out. And with that energy and being the model, I just absorbed everything and put it out on my expression. And just, I wanted to manifest it through the photo. And I guess that's the thing that you were trying to say, that there's something about it. And it's probably the energy that I'm giving off, the emotions that I'm giving off, or what's within that really radiates outside.
Yes, absolutely. Here, I went to college in film studies. So when I see like some of your photos, I notice immediately the difference between your photos and like some of the other candidates, because I feel like you were being a little more experimental, like you were taking risks. And in my opinion, it really paid off because sometimes it was something with the lighting, like the silhouette, the colors, or the way that they edit the photos. It was just like a joy to watch. I'm guess that's what I'm trying to say. It was.
And those are raw photos. They aren't edited.
Oh,
Yes.
really? Okay. Oh my
All the
God.
photos that I've released, they're all raw, straight from the camera.
Oh
That's
my
how
God.
amazing the team is. That's how artistic everyone is in that room. And I actually cried after that shoot because I was like, this is the first time that I don't know, this is the first time that I felt like we were all in the same, we all had the same idea, we all had the same thought. We were all just, how do you say it? We were just a team,
Yeah.
like it was such a good energy. Everybody was happy, everybody was so excited, everybody was nice. And in a competition, you need that.
Mhm.
So when it gets too, sometimes it gets too stressful, sometimes it gets too hard. And when you have that moment, it feels euphoric somehow that, oh my gosh, I was too focused on the bad that I forgot about this. And when it happens, it's so overwhelming, it's overflowing with just happiness.
Yeah.
That's how passionate and emotional I can get. And so I just try to be my authentic self in this competition. Why will I stop myself from feeling things or showing my true feelings when people can relate to them, when people can connect to them,
Absolutely.
right?
Oh, I really,
That's
really
the
love that.
purpose of this competition.
Exactly. Well, props to the team because they have done an outstanding job. So beautiful. And props to you, girl, because you look flawless on the pictures. How to be you? Oh my God.
Thank you, thank you.
Uh, one of the terms that has been thrown out there about you, and something that I even had a lot to say about in one of my videos, the term dark horse. So you have been attached
Okay.
to this quite a few times. How do you feel about this? About this term, people defining you as a dark horse within the competition?
Well, there's also a lot of pressure in it. People may have a misconception that front runners have the most pressure, but actually, dark horses have the most pressure because once you're identified as someone who can rise during the pageant night itself, the coronation night itself, that's a lot to take in. That's a lot of expectation
Yeah.
because they think you're not doing your best, and then during the competition they think you'll be doing more. But what if they think you're dark horse when actually you're already doing your best? You know
Mhm.
what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you're giving everything you can. Um, I I feel like I honestly don't know what to feel. I'm just like I'll you know what? I'm gonna do the best I can. I know I'm not gonna please everybody, but I'll please myself for sure.
Yeah.
I won't disappoint myself. And I'll be happy about that.
That's what really matters. In my opinion, the way I see like the term like dark horse is when people see that someone is doing very, very well, but they're not getting like as much recognition as they deserve. So, and this is something that during one of my videos, I even think that you shared this like on your stories. And I was just pretty much telling everyone, you guys need to stop with the dark horse thing because this girl is delivering like a game from beginning to end. And like on every single challenge, she's been so consistent. So, and people notice, like I had like on my comment section, so many people asking me, can you interview Jasmine? Can you do this? Can you, oh my God, can you read?
Oh my gosh.
I was like, there's no dark horse here. I mean, this is a front runner.
Oh, thank you. I'm just so happy that I have angels like you to
Oh,
help me in this competition. You are such an angel. I'm a very spiritual person. I really very faithful also to God, and I really believe that he put me in this. This was his plan, and he already prepared you. He already um, planned, having you in this journey as well, having these people helping me in this journey.
oh, well, I'm more than glad and more than honored to be part of the journey. And anything that I can do to help you on this journey, then you know that I'm always here. So,
Oh, thank you. Mwah.
mwah. So, precisely, being fresh to the competition and this entire world of pageantry, what is something about you that you feel like people don't know yet, or that they might not be as familiar with?
Oh my gosh, a lot of things. Like you said, I know that I'm not getting the same recognition as the other girls.
Yeah.
And I don't have a problem with that. But I guess that's how I know that people don't know me so well yet. And that's okay because I have a lot of time to show that, And everybody knows that I'm a mental health advocate, that I am a artist. I'm funny. I'm actually very very kalog in Tagalog or kuwala. I'm not classy or alta as you think. I mean, I can be, but I can be very, very relatable and very down to earth. People don't know about me is I'm a college undergraduate. I started modeling when I was 15 and I was in senior high school.
Mhm.
And when I went to college, I wasn't sure. I had no idea what I wanted to do. A lot of teenagers go through that and they just follow what their parents say,
Yeah,
right?
that's
And
right.
as an artist, my mom thought that it would be good for me to pursue fashion design because I was in the in the fashion industry. And I wanted to pursue fine arts to really hone my skills in painting. She just wanted me to do something with the art that I do, which was fashion design.
Yeah.
And it was there was a shift in my lifestyle, a huge shift in my lifestyle that I couldn't adapt to properly at that age. Especially, I lost someone passed away very close to me.
Mhm.
So I what normally happens is I got depressed. I go through depression. Being a teenager who doesn't know what she's doing, and then somebody close to her passes away, and there's a huge shift in her lifestyle. So how do you adapt to all of that, right?
Mhm.
That's how I got depressed. And my mom saw that. I wasn't clinically diagnosed that time. She talked to me and she said, "Do you want to take a break? Do you want to take a break from school and just, maybe figure out what you really want to do after 2 years in college?"
Mhm.
And for a couple of months, I was really a bum. I isolated myself in my bedroom all day. I was just lucky that I lived with my mom, my sisters, my younger sisters, and I had that rock. I had a rock. I had that support because depression is really, really dangerous.
Mhm.
It can be really dangerous.
Yes, of
And I
course.
guess we're moving on to that topic now, which was my advocacy. So yeah, that's the main reason why mental health is actually my advocacy. I personally went through depression and to the point that I was suicidal at 17. And I realized a lot of people go through that. So it's really something people have to know. I have to get out there because at one point in your life, it's a fact that you will experience depression. And what if you don't know that it is already and you don't know how to cope with it? I don't want you to go through what I went through,
Exactly.
right? And don't have the support that I was blessed with.
No, I think it's important that you talk about this. And honestly, as I was preparing for the interview, was one of the things that I wanted to touch because, first of all, you are talking from a place of experience. Like you've been there, you've been through it, and you were able to also get out of it, right? So somehow you are someone who knows how to talk to someone who is going through the same situation. I also love that you shared about how your family was able to support you through this period of time and how you needed a break to, just take care of yourself and do other things other than school at that time. Because very often, especially with youth, with the younger people, they think of life as a linear, as a line. We're
Mhm.
born, we do all of this, and then like at the end, like we die. But in reality, life has a lot of ups and downs, and it doesn't always look the same for everyone.
Yeah.
Sometimes maybe like going to school at that point, it wasn't like, well, what made sense for you, with everything that was happening in your life, but it was what you needed in order to
Mm-hmm.
afterwards succeed and become, like a better version of yourself and a healthier version
Mm-hmm.
of yourself as well. So I love that. And thank you for being so honest, because I know it takes a lot of courage, to talk about these things. And it's something that it's extremely personal. And sometimes it can be, uncomfortable putting it out there. But the fact that you're doing this for a greater good, you have already earned my respect. So,
No, I've always been open about this, Louis. That's the thing. I didn't have a hard time sharing this to other people. I was very open about it because I knew that I had to get it out there. I knew that somebody needed it to, someone needs to hear it, or somebody I might need to hear it at that time. And I've always been open about it. And so this is why I realized that, you know what? Yeah, this might be my purpose. I am not that kind of person that stops myself naturally from sharing stories, but naturally it is within me that I don't even have to think about the greater good.
yeah.
It's really something that I just do, and something that I naturally possess is the ability to make people connect to me and make people vulnerable and authentic, and that's what's important, and that's how I think I can change lives. That is why I'm here. And yeah, I totally agree with your linear equation with the youth, because here in the Philippines, especially, I'm not sure if you know, but there is a culture or tradition where right after high school, we go to college, we study for 4 years, we graduate, then we start working. That's just, as in everybody, almost everybody it knows that that's the normal. And I was ashamed before when I was younger to say that I was an undergraduate. But you know what I realized? Everybody has their own timeline.
Yeah.
You don't have to be pressured by society standards. You just follow you just listen to your heart, to your mind, to what you really want, and take your time. Don't be pressured by other people. And as long as you have a goal, as long as you you know what you want in the future, you have an ambition,
Yes.
then just go through it. Just do life your own way. Go through life your own way. Do you, boo?
Do you, boo? Yes, I love that. And I mean, and look at you, you are a very accomplished woman. You are very successful at what you do, and and you're the perfect example that you didn't let that stop you. Because, like you mentioned, sometimes there's some judgment that comes with the fact that, oh, she's an undergraduate or this and that, but that didn't stop you. You actually took the time to get better, to be at your 100%, and then you continue pursuing your dreams, your passions, the things that you love. Look at you now. So I hope that people looking at us, this is honestly the purpose of the interviews. I want people to be able to relate to the beauty queens and see that not everyone has, like the perfect upbringing or like the perfect childhood, or like
No.
not everything is handed to them. So thank you. I'm honestly so glad that you shared this, because I think of the people watching us more than anything.
Yeah, yeah. Me
Yeah.
too. I'm excited. This is probably the most vulnerable I've ever been for an interview.
Oh, well, thank you for trusting me with that. This is a safe space, so I'm
Well,
really,
like I said, you're an angel to me, and so
oh,
it's all good. It's, yeah.
appreciate the trust. Was there ever a moment where you started seeing things shifting, going from depression to kind of like being able to integrate yourself,
Recover.
yeah,
Yeah.
recover once again? Was there a particular moment where you felt that shift?
I started working. My mom was also the one who told me, why don't you start working? Try working. She
Mhm,
saw in the newspaper that an airline was open for hiring.
mhm,
And how old was I? I was 17 years old. And so, still depressed. I was still in a bad place. I just listened to her and I was like, whatever, I'll just do it. So I
mhm.
went to the office of that airline, and unexpectedly, I got in the same day. I was hired the same day.
They saw the material.
I mean, that alone, that has really, really strengthened my faith, because the time that I was depressed, um, people have to know this. The time that I was depressed, every night I would cry, pour my heart out, and talk to God. I wasn't as religious as my family, But for some reason, when I was depressed, I felt like I just had to talk to someone. And so I prayed and really, really, I felt like he was my psychiatrist. I felt like I just really pretended or imagined that someone out there was listening. And I always asked to give me the courage and the strength to get through this. And please, I was asking God to somehow show me the path. Give me a sign. What do I do? Right. And ever since then, everything was just given to me. Everything was just right there in front of me, and I just had to grab it. Oh my gosh, I'm getting goosebumps right now. I can go on and on with these signs and prayers, and it is it's just a miracle, really. And anyway, back to the topic. When I started working, that shift, it's another shift in your lifestyle, of course, and being not knowing what to do in a when you're depressed, you just kind of feel like you're on autopilot. That you just follow whatever is there. You just do whatever they tell you to do. And so I went through the training. There is an intense, extensive training that you have to go through before you first become a flight attendant for
Yeah.
2 months. And because of that extensive, intense training that I went through, I also met a lot of new people, and I had a goal. And that sparked a goal and the motivation to finally do something with my life.
Okay.
But the main point of this whole story is that somebody helped me. That my mom was the one who opened that door for me. And I honestly wouldn't know where I would be if my mom weren't there, if my sister weren't there. And that's really why this this advocacy, this passion of mine. I want people not just to suffer from mental challenges, but also the people around them to know what to do when someone probably beside you is having a hard time.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know, maybe you can change their lives, impact them, make an impact in some way. And it only takes one person.
It wasn't just one thing that changed, but actually you had your mom helping you, rooting for you, like kind of like looking out for opportunities for you. The fact that you were also willing to, give it a try, even if you didn't have maybe like the motivation or the expectation to go for it. Uh, and also that you met new people that inspired you. So sometimes depression can be a very difficult topic because to get out of it is not just one thing that you have to do or just like, oh, just smile and think positive and everything will be okay. It's not it. Sometimes it's a long journey, it's a process, and you need a lot of support. You need people sometimes to help you on that journey because it is a lot of self-work, work within yourself, but also the people around you are very important. So, and just like you said, this experience that brought you closer to God, I feel like a lot of people will be able to relate to that as well. I myself can relate to that as well, for sure. I grew up in a very religious family, and at some point in my life, I kind of got a little separated from that. Um, and I had to just kind of like go through my own journey of discovery and dealing with a lot of things. But um, eventually, I got closer to God. And like you said, for me, I felt that connection. What you're explaining, I can understand that,
Yeah,
like
it's
sometimes
hard to explain, right? But you know.
sometimes you just need to talk and you feel like there's someone listening, and that's very
Mhm.
special. So mental health, it's universal. It's something that people struggle with this on a daily basis all over the world. So I know that if given the opportunity to become the next Miss Universe Philippines and going to the international stage, you will be able to do like a lot of good and positive things for people out there, not just within the Philippines, but globally, right? So
Yeah. I hope so. I really hope so. There's more to me actually than just the mental health aspect. That is one of my goals, but I have a lot more to fight for, to advocate for, that I personally experienced as well. But well, I'll start with that first.
Yeah,
That's my first
of
step.
course, of course. I mean,
Yeah.
you're a box of surprises, so this is just the beginning. So what will be your message for something that is going through depression as of right now? Sometimes, they might need like some words of encouragement. What would you say to someone?
Because I've experienced it, I can recognize it. I'm aware when I'm going through when I'm about to go through a depressive state. It's happened. It's normal. It's not a big, I mean, it is a big deal, but it's something that I can overcome already.
Mhm.
So when I'm there, no matter how much you try to avoid it, no matter how much you try to fight it, the more you fight, the harder it is.
Mhm.
So when I'm there, it's hard to move even, honestly. I know, okay, to whoever's watching this, I know how hard it is to even brush your teeth. I know how hard it is to even shower, get up in the morning and eat. Or maybe I know how hard it is to stop eating the chips in front of you and stop watching a movie. And it just feels like you just want to get out of this reality. It is very indescribable, the feeling of depression. And honestly, there's nothing I could say that will change your life.
Mm.
But I want you to know that you're not alone, that you will get through this with me, with other people that can relate to you. There are a lot of us. This this phase that you're going through is a process. It is a transformation of your being. Fight. I'm just telling you to please keep fighting. Fight for your life. Fight for your loved ones. Fight for the world. Fight for your fight for nature, the beach. What do you love to do? The sport that you love. Fight for it. Although it may seem like it's far away now, although it may seem like it's out of reach, try to fight it. Because at the end of this, you are going to be amazing. You are going to be a stronger person. And you are going to help those people who are going through what you're going through right now.
I love that. Thank you so much. Thank you so, so much for sharing, honestly.
You're welcome.
Yes, I truly appreciate that because being in the public eye, a lot of people sometimes approach me, and they talk about, I don't know, for example, how my videos help them get through the day, or how, sometimes like whatever, you never know, like the things that you put out there sometimes have like a real impact in people's lives. And I know that people who are going through these things are watching, so I do appreciate you coming here and just sharing your experience, talking about it, and spreading a message of hope and encouragement for everyone. So love you forever for that.
I mean, look at me. I'm competing for Miss Universe now.
That's it, that part. So what would you say, Jasmine, working closely with one of the most powerful camps in the Philippines, what is something that you have learned from this experience?
One thing out of the many things I've learned is how to stand up for myself, how to speak up,
Mm.
and how to embrace who I really am and fight for myself.
Yes.
That's what I've learned.
I love that. We need a lot of that in this industry and with the things that you're doing. And you will need it even more if you make it to the final and you get the national crown. Because when you go to the international level, it's an added layer of pressure, expectation, bashing, also love. Let's not forget about the positive, which you
Yes.
will need those qualities that you just mentioned, you will really, really need them. So
Oh,
good.
yeah.
In your opinion, as of right now, let's say if you judge everything that you've done so far, if you self-reflect, what is your biggest strength and your biggest weakness in the competition so far?
My biggest strength is my family.
Mm.
I'm very family devoted. In this journey, I realized how much I love and draw strength from my family.
Mhm.
My weakness would be them also. They they make me cry. They can make me cry, but they can make me the strongest also.
Yeah.
I cannot describe the feeling. I'm sure a lot, people. I'm sure everybody knows what I'm trying to say when it comes to family. It's just so different, even though how much strength you have in your core, how much you value your principles, where you gain or where you draw your strength from is actually the most important thing. And that's my family. Thing I need to work on is really just myself. This is my first pageant, and no matter how confident I may seem or how prepared I may seem, I'm still nervous. I
Mhm.
still have fear. I still have insecurities. And it's something that I have to overcome daily. Daily. It's not my puppy. It's not a one. Yeah, this is Bailey.
Thank
It's
you.
not a one day solution, and so it's a daily struggle. I'm sure a lot of us are going through, and that's really just the things that I still have to work on. The same things I have to work on, because at the end of the day in the pageant, all you really have to do is be yourself.
I always tell this to the girls, it's an opportunity. If you know what you're really good at, but then you also know what you need to work on, look at that as an opportunity because you know where you need to put your effort, where you need to really focus. And, it's only positive. If you know that you need like a little more attention in this area, then you can
Yeah.
put it there and then deliver during the
Oh
competition.
yeah. Well, my biggest weakness when I started training was my Q&A for sure.
Okay.
Yes, because I've been a pageant fan for the longest time. Since I've been wanting to do this for many, many years. I've been watching videos myself. I was training myself, in a way. And because of that, my trainer, my mentor would laugh at me every time he would say the story of how I started training with him because I was so generic. I was such a 90s, 80s beauty queen where my answers were very pageant patty now, of course, but not during their time. Their answers were great. But now, since it's already been said, it's pageant patty. And that's what's so funny. And I'm like, oh my gosh. It was stuck, subconsciously, it was already there. And it was hard to unlearn
Mhm.
things that you have. And but what I realized and what I really learned is really just speak from your heart.
Yeah.
Like what I am doing now. I think this is the most, like I said, this is the most authentic I've ever been on an interview. And honestly, I think I'm doing better. So
Yeah, that's the goal,
it's a,
obviously. You want
yeah.
it to be a safe space, and for you to feel at ease, to be able to share like the truest version of yourself, because the
Mhm.
goal, I mean, once again, there are 1,000 interviews out there. You have answered all of the questions, like new questions from previous years. They put you on the spot. They expect like for you to be fast, witty, have substance and all. But what about like you as a person? Like I wanna connect with you. I wanna know who you are as
Yeah.
well. So
Because that will make you stand out,
mhm,
right?
yeah,
Because not everybody's the same. So just show who you are and make a statement, right?
there you go. Love that. So, what are your thoughts? Obviously, this year is very different for Miss Universe Philippines. What are your thoughts about this current system of the fan vote to pick up like the final candidate?
Well, at first, I wasn't comfortable, I guess, because I knew there were popular candidates, right? And being a newbie, it was to my disadvantage.
Yeah,
But it was a challenge, and it was part of the competition.
yeah.
So I really just I had to work. I had to do the work. I had to I had to expose myself. I had to be known. And so I just I tried to I found ways to make that happen. And although I wasn't part of the top 15 in the challenges, I know I did my best. And the support that I'm getting is enough for me. And I guess, it's also, I appreciate the fan votes for those girls who are getting in the top 15 because then they have um, that somehow validity of their competition, their efforts.
Yes.
And that's what it just makes me happy that they're happy. So I'm happy everybody's happy.
World peace. Yeah, it's the new format. We have to get used to the new reality.
I mean,
uh,
they're not forcing you anyway. So, right?
exactly. Like you signed up for it, so. All right. So now that you have officially reached the top 30, what is your strategy going forward in the competition?
Woo, strategy. I will definitely put my talent in it. Put my talent in in what I'll be doing. Uh, the creativity that I have, the artistry that I have, the craft, ex, exerted, executed in maybe my wardrobe, maybe my movements, how I speak, and really, I can never stop saying. I don't think I'll ever stop saying this. It's really just be who I am because it's a process,
Yes.
Louise, right? It's not easy to be authentic. That's the truth. That's reality. It's not easy to be authentic because people will judge you, people will criticize you. That's
Mhm.
the hardest thing, especially in this competition. The girls, we are aware that there are actual judges, actual critics, for us to win. And but as long as you are authentic and as long as you are passionate about the things that you are doing,
Mhm.
I think that is the best thing you could do for yourself and for other people.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'll just try to express myself the way I do with social media, with my writing, and put that in the competition when it's face to face. You'll see.
I think that you have the right approach. I feel like you have the right mindset. And what I'm really glad to see and hear from you is that you're not willing to compromise the essence of who you are for likes or votes or being put on topics or anything like that. So just keep doing you and you are going places, girl.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh. I'm so happy to finally have this with you. And my
And
gosh, it's just so nice finally hearing from you and finally show you my gratitude on how much I appreciate you, really.
honestly, that pleasure is all mine. I'm the one who is here feeling super killing to be here with you.
Oh my God, killing.
So before we end the interview, Jasmine, so if I put you on the spot and I imagine that we have like thousands of people watching us right now live, what is your message to the people? What do you want them to remember from you as a candidate, but also as a person? And how can they support you going forward on your journey?
My name is Jasmine Umali. I'm 25 years old, representing Manila. I'm here to fight to represent the Philippines in the Miss Universe stage. And I'm here to bring home the fifth Miss Universe crown to our country. And I will continue to fight no matter what happens. I will fight for each and every Filipino. I will bring all your stories with me and share that to the universe. And I hope that you support me no matter in any way you can. I really would really appreciate it. And thank you to my supporters, my family, my friends. Thank you so much for believing in me. You are my strength. And I look forward to the next days, the competition.
Thank you so much. Honestly, I
Thank
got the
you.
chills. I got the chills. It's been such a pleasure, honestly, talking to you, taking the time to not only coming here, sitting with you and asking some of the questions that a lot of people have been asking, but also questions that I wanted to hear from you myself. And most importantly, getting to know you on a personal level, because you are such a beautiful girl, but also just an amazing human being, like a girl with so much
Oh, thank
substance, you know?
you.
And I really appreciate this moment with you. I've loved everything you've done so far, and I really, really look forward to what you're going to do now in the last few days of the pageant. And if there's anything that I can do from my little, platform, my channel, my Instagram,
Oh,
whatever, to help you, feel free to reach out. I'm like just here to uplift you and show you some love. And, for everyone who is watching us right now, please go and support Jasmine as well. Show some love, go through with the votes, especially if you enjoy the conversation that we just had. It's important. That's how you show your love and recognition, and that you appreciate what the candidates are doing. So thank you for joining us today, everyone.
thank you for having me, Louis. Thank you for watching.
I'll see you next time, everyone, with another episode of Extraordinary Talks. And until then, stay safe, sending kisses, and yeah, stay blessed. Bye.
Bye.